Good morning, and welcome to SantaCruzVoice.com, and welcome to Bettina's Buzz. I'm Bettina McBee, and thank you very much for listening to Bettina's Buzz this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm always very happy to share my Saturday mornings with you and to share a guest with you. And this morning, on the line, calling us from, where are you calling from, Genevieve?
From beautiful, sunny Pebble Beach, California.
Oh, you're in Pebble Beach. Well, thank you for being with us this morning, Genevieve. Genevieve, pronounce your last name for us.
Yes, it's Genevieve Armendariz.
That's a beautiful last name. Say it again, please.
Armendariz.
And what is your last name? What does that derive from?
Well, my dad is Mexican-American, so it derives from that. When I look into it a little bit more, it seems like it comes from Spain, from the Basque region. But, my mom is Caucasian and Japanese, and my dad is Mexican-American. So in my family, we grew up having both sushi and tamales, but not at the same time.
Not at the same time. Well, everyone, one of the many reasons I invited Genevieve to be my guest with me this morning on Bettina's Buzz is because we met. Do you remember, maybe, Genevieve, how many years ago? 4 or 5 years? No, more than that. About 6 years ago, when you modeled with me at the Concorso Italiano.
Yes, it might have even been about 8 years ago.
Yes, a long time ago. And that was a great time.
Yes, it was.
As always. And then I did a little bit of help with the Concorso Italiano this year with its new chairwoman, Tanya Costa, running everything.
Yes.
And
I love Tanya.
Yeah, we love Tanya. And Tanya asked me to help find models for the event this year. And Genevieve agreed to be one of the models. And again, you looked absolutely beautiful modeling clothes from. Who did you model from for this year?
Thank you so much. We had a really nice trip at Macy's where we got to try on a bunch of different designers, so that was nice.
That was nice. And Genevieve also is a beauty at wearing pageant and awards sashes. Please share that with us, Miss Central Coast.
Yes, you're so sweet, Bettina. I think you need a sash.
No. But I'll take it, sure, okay. No, but share with us, and congratulations on such a prestigious title, Genevieve.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I am really grateful and excited to be our Miss Central Coast right now, representing our region in the Miss California competition that leads to the Miss USA competition. And before being Miss Central Coast, I was Miss Monterey County, and both titles basically cover the same region, and it's my hometown of Salinas, my current city of Pebble Beach, and all the other cities and small communities around that are really close and near and dear to my heart.
How did you get involved in these type of, well, they're competitions, pageants are competitions, so how did you get involved?
Yeah, so growing up, I always kind of wanted to run for Miss California. I really appreciated the platform it has. I look around today and I see it as one of the few female role model platforms that's out there for young women and women of all ages, actually. And so growing up, we'll get into it later a bit more, maybe, but growing up in Salinas, it's a very impoverished city. I overcame a few challenges growing up with my family who were very hard workers, working multiple jobs. And I never met anyone who had competed in a beauty pageant before. And then a few years ago, about 2 years ago, I'm 28 now, so when I was about 26, I decided to compete for my first beauty pageant, and I entered the Miss California competition as an at-large contestant, where I got to represent our county of Monterey County and go and compete at the 100th anniversary of the Miss California competition, and that was a lot of fun.
Was it scary?
I don't know if it was scary, but it was new. It's definitely an experience unlike any other that I've had before. So there was a big learning curve there. A lot of pageant contestants have been doing this for about 10 years in a row now. So the process of competing in the pageant, which is actually a week-long competition, it's different for people who are new to it. But if you've done it a few times, you start to get the hang of it. So it gets a little easier.
I guess, Genevieve, what I mean is by scary is it seems that you're judged so much on appearance. Correct me on that, because that's just because I know nothing about pageants, except I do know that they are a good platform for young women, but it seems that you're judged much more externally. That's why it seems scary to me.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That is something that I considered beforehand because I am a feminist. I know that's a hot button word nowadays, but I do believe in, equality for everyone, men and women. And so before I decided to compete in the competition, I looked into it. And here's some interesting information about the breakdown of the scoring. Is that for the Miss America competition, 30% of the score is your private interview, which is a one-on-one 10-minute interview with just you and the 5 judges. Another 10% of the score is for on-stage interview question, where they ask you something sort of impromptu and you have to respond on the spot. The other 20% is based on your talent. And nowadays, you don't have to have a traditional entertainment talent like dancing or singing, which some people like myself didn't grow up being. I always wanted to be a cheerleader, things like that, but my family was working hard and we couldn't afford it to put me into those sort of sports. So not everyone has that background, that experience, but you don't need that to get into it. And it's not just based on beauty, because part of the talent competition is we actually have an option to tell your her story, which is basically any story you want. It could be about your life, about a moment in your life, and you get to show that to the whole judges and the audience. And then there's also a fitness portion, which is linked to the American Heart Association. And so it's not a bikini contest for the Miss America one anymore, which is the first one I competed in. It's fitness wear, like yoga clothes, basically. And the reason for that is they're not judging on the body shape, but they say that they're looking for someone with upbeat energy to be able to model the clothes. And it's also partnered to promote heart health for women and girls in America, because unfortunately, heart disease is the leading cause of death for women. So there is that aspect of the Miss America competition where they heavily tie into us knowing about how we should learn CPR or different things like that. And then there's also the evening gown competition where you walk down and it's like basically how you would walk down, I guess, the aisle during your marriage on your wedding day, where the spotlight's on you and you just get a moment to feel really beautiful and glamorous. But I did think about that, and I guess that's my long-winded answer of I wouldn't be in a competition that solely judged people based off physical appearance, especially if it didn't have a platform where I could make a greater impact for other people in the world. And that's why I joined the Miss America and Miss California competitions, is because of that platform and that ability to spread my message and impact more people.
Well, Genevieve, that's one of the things that I've always respected about you, young woman, is that when I first met you, not only are you a beautiful young woman, you do present yourself in a way that lets people know right away there's more to you than this beautiful young woman. And based on when I first met you as a model and through context of a model, and then to see, Genevieve, how you've progressed in these years, and seeing the article about you last year in the Monterey Coast Weekly, and knowing that you've won these different pageants, the Miss Monterey County as well as the Miss Central Coast, and the platforms that you've developed. I really respect how you've used your beauty, quite frankly, as we women can, to make a stronger and better platform, not only for yourself, but for others. What do you think motivated you to move in that direction?
Well, thank you so much for saying that, Bettina. I see you and your daughter Serna in the same way, so I'm really appreciative for both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. What motivated me to see that is just seeing how the world is, just being observant, and whether you step outside or you could even go online and, see how people are treated differently based on gender, based on physical appearance. Like you said, people who look better or maybe who dress better or do their hair and makeup better, get treated better. That's proven even in statistics and studies about, work relationships where people who have a better physical appearance get paid more, and just different things like that. And I don't believe that that's the right way that the world should be. So I do take a lot of stances to just be happy and confident with myself without trying to fall into external pressures like social media or other things nowadays. And so really that was it, just seeing how the world is and knowing that this place needs to change. And well, you just get up and go change it however you can, I guess.
Share with us, Genevieve, some of your educational background, just basically where you went to high school and what other educational aspirations you've been involved in.
Okay. So I did graduate high school early from the MCOE schools, which are the Monterey County Office of Education, alternative schools. And then I started at Hartnell College at the age of 16, where I began pursuing a degree in astrophysics. And then I was also just briefly also studying to be a pilot. And then
a pilot? Really?
Yeah.
Where were you studying to be a pilot?
At Hollister Airport.
Nice. When was this? Did you like it?
I did like it. This was a long time ago, maybe 9 years ago now. I did like it. I just didn't end up going on with it, but I think it's a very fun activity to
do. Did you ever solo? Did you get that?
No. No.
But, oh my gosh, because I worked at Monterey Bay Aviation for a while, Genevieve, years ago. I never flew, but I saw students coming in learning to fly and them talking about it. So that's very interesting. Well, and you love stars, the stars, yes. Planets and stars.
Yes. So one of the constants in life that remind you that nature is here to stay and we don't need to change things about ourselves or about the outer world, to have a good life. So I really do like that. I appreciate that. And the broader view of knowing that, we're on this planet, and if you look down from space, there's something called, I think it's called the overview effect, which astronauts get, where once they go up into space and they look down at Earth, they can see almost the whole of Earth, from up above. And it's this phenomenon that a bunch of astronauts experience where as soon as they see Earth from that high up, that perspective, they realize how trivial all of our problems are and how much compassion needs to lead the way in the world.
It's too bad that you have to go up in space to feel. Sometimes, no, as you were saying that, I was saying, well, I feel that way sometimes when I look out at the ocean or, the waves come washing in, and it's nice to think that the problems can wash away. Genevieve, how do you feel your parents, especially, and I want to say, because I did get to meet your mom at the Concorso Italiano. She's very cute. How do you feel that your parents influenced you in the direction, at least currently at your age, the direction that you've taken?
Yeah, they influenced me greatly. Starting off with my mom, you met her and you got to see how beautiful she is. So, when we're talking about beautiful women growing up, my mom was always known as, I guess you could say, the hot mom, all the dads wanting to talk to her. And even my friends my age, like, hey, can I add her on Facebook? No, you can't, But besides being beautiful on the outside, my mom is the most beautiful person on the inside that I've ever known. And she's really what instilled in me the kindness, the deep love, and the respect for everyone. So my mom modeled that behavior all throughout my life of giving back, of going the extra mile to make sure other people are okay in their lives. And not only just from a young age, but even now as an adult, I see that modeled all the time. My mom was one of Tanya's helpers, volunteers with All in Monterey County. And even when my mom has nothing to do with what I do, she's always showing up and volunteering at everything I do. So she really is such an altruistic person, such an amazing woman that I have in my life. I'm so grateful for. And besides just being altruistic, she's also amazing. She worked multiple jobs growing up. She, worked really hard. She's super intelligent. So that was also modeled for me. She's a strong woman, just like my grandmother, who's my mother's mother, is also a very strong woman. My grandmother was one of the official auto mechanics for the city of Salinas.
Wow.
And she was a welder.
Wow.
Yeah, so growing up around strong women was something that was very normal in my life. And then my dad also influenced me because he was very strong. He taught me to be observant, to be confident in myself and always carry myself and my name with pride, to know who I am and to stand by that at all times. And he also taught me entrepreneurship. We may not have had much to begin with, but my parents determined where we were going. And my dad worked very hard, just like my mom. And maybe when I was a preteen, I saw my dad start his own business as a licensed contractor. And he named it Armendariz Services, which is my last name. And I think that's what inspired me to start my own business and later on have the confidence to found a nonprofit and a scholarship fund as well.
Okay, Genevieve, we're going to take a really quick break. And when we come back, I want you to tell us more about your nonprofit. Okay? Okay, thank you. We'll be back in one moment here on Bettina's Buzz.
Attention content producers. You can have access to a complete digital media production facility at Satellite Co-working and Digital Media Studio on SoCal Avenue. Easily rent video and audio equipment, a studio with green screen, editing suite, and audio booth, all at can't say no rates. Schedule a tour to see for yourself at satellitecoworking.com. Mention Santa Cruz Voice for 20% off your first reservation.
Listen and be heard. You can support one of America's first local news and talk streaming radio stations, SantaCruzVoice.com. Your support will help build the Voice's streaming infrastructure and maintain the programming of its 34 local broadcasters. Your support will help build a radio station that you will be truly proud of. Please go to SantaCruzVoice.com and click support. Thank you.
Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
It's high time to celebrate the opening of the new Hook Outlet Dispensary, 1129 Mission in Santa Cruz. Get in on the opening fun and really low prices on the Hook's unmatched selection of top-quality medical and recreational cannabis flower, vapes, drinks, gummies, and concentrates. The Hook Outlet is now the West Side's source for finest cannabis at the lowest prices. Get in on all the opening fun and low prices at the all-new Hook Outlet. HookOutlet.com for details and deals.
Thank you for listening to Bettina's Buzz here on SantaCruzVoice.com. On the line is my friend Genevieve. You're there?
Yes, I am.
Good. I knew you wouldn't go anywhere. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Genevieve, for being with us. Again, Genevieve is Miss Central Coast, and she's started a nonprofit. Well, not just started. Tell us about your nonprofit, Genevieve.
Yes, thank you. It's called the Limitless Program. And it started out as a way to empower women and girls, especially in underserved communities, and especially women and girls who wish to pursue a career in a field that has traditionally been male-dominated or mostly held by men. However, recently we've expanded to include boys and men as well, because we know that the need is there and we want to help people and support and uplift people however we can. So we do have multiple aspects of our nonprofit, and the first part is our scholarship fund. So that is especially for young women who are graduating from high school in Monterey County, and they come from a family with low income, and they wish to pursue a career that requires a college degree or some sort of vocational training. And the career that they're pursuing has to be something that's male-dominated. So like STEM, which only 30% of women are in STEM positions, science, technology, engineering, and math. Let's see what else. The trades, construction workers, architects, even public speaking is male-dominated. So that's our scholarship fund part. And to this day, we're very grateful. In the first few years, we awarded $12,000 to local girls to go to college.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's really great, Genevieve.
Thank you. I think it's very great as well, but I'm really hoping to expand that more because for example, the first year that we did our scholarship fund, we had over 46 local girls apply.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't give out $46,000 scholarships on our first year. This is just something I started and do fundraising basically for. And so the need is there, not just in our community, but in other communities. And it's not just a need, it's a want for women and girls to pursue what they want to pursue. And sometimes we put people in a box and we think, oh, they're not going to be interested in that. Oh, they won't like that. But you never know. I have a friend, Lizzie, who's absolutely amazing. She drives race cars, basically. She has multiple cars. She knows everything she's a chemist with a chemistry degree.
Wow.
But she actually, she used her chemistry degree to create her own line of natural hair care and skincare products inspired by her Japanese ancestry. So even if a woman or a girl wants to be a chemist, that's something that we should open up their eyes to so that people know all of the viable career paths that they can take from different degrees. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself into something. And, there's so many pathways, so many career opportunities that people can take.
And it's really easy for us to do that to ourselves unless we just really take a chance. Like when you're by definition, a senior citizen like me, and then you decide, go ahead, take those horseback riding lessons. You've always wanted to do it, and then it's amazing once you get up on that horse and you realize it wasn't that hard at all. That's where you belong. But that's just going ahead and, as I said, not so much being afraid, but take the risk, take the chance, just do it. Like Nike says, right? Just do it.
Yeah, and there's that other saying, you got to risk it to get the biscuit.
That's
a different one. Yeah.
What is it like, just speaking of risk, and not even Genevieve as a model, we're both models, but what is it like to really put yourself out there? To put yourself out there as a pageant contestant, not only regardless of beauty, then it's not about beauty, it's not about how well you present yourself in that bathing suit. But yes, then putting yourself out there with talent or her story and being judged in such a way. What is that like?
I would say it's empowering and beautiful. And what's beautiful about it is the process of becoming who you're meant to be and becoming your best self. So like you said, when you try something, you might not be the best at it right away, but with practice comes perfection, or at least closer to perfection. And so really, like when I got up on stage and I'm doing my talent where I decided to tell her story, which is a little life story I did in 90 seconds. About
you could tell her story in that's all you had, 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you have for no matter what sort of talent you do. That's all you have, 90 seconds. So it is a fast thing, but after you walk off stage with the experience of having been on a stage with spotlights on you, with the audience that you can't see everyone because the lights are so bright, a judging panel, some of the judges might have flown in, from different parts of the country. They're very established people. But then you walk off and you have that experience. So anything you do after that isn't as hard.
So everything is easier do you think that the lights blaring at you because I'm envisioning as you're speaking about being on stage and then the light, do you think that's easier that you can't see the people, or do you ever wish that you could see somebody so you could really look at somebody as you're communicating?
A little bit of both. In one way, it's easier because nowadays we're so used to talking over a phone or over a screen that to have that sort of buffer between you and the people with the bright lights is kind of useful. It seems like you're just talking to a camera or something. But I do also like looking at people when I speak. So there were a few spots in the audience where I could see people where the lights weren't as bright, and I was looking at them.
So with your love of being in space, I'll just say that, would you want to go to space, Genevieve? Would you want to be an astronaut or live in space and have that type of experience?
When I was younger, I did, and that's why I started studying all three branches of being an astronaut, which is my astrophysics through science exploration. Piloting the spacecraft was something that I wanted to do as well. That's why I started taking pilot lessons. And then I also started learning about aerospace engineering because I wanted to be able to fix the spacecraft if I were up there. And that was my goal originally, to be an astronaut when I was about 16 to 18 years old, because I did start college at 16. But nowadays that I have more wisdom with me, I've realized being here on Earth is the greatest privilege and blessing I could have. And I wouldn't want to leave all of these amazing people, experiences, nature, even if it was for a moment. I'm not entirely sure I would want to risk that, I guess. That's not a biscuit I want to get.
Well, thank you for saying that, because frankly, I never understood why people wanted to go to space, because there's nothing free about that. You know, you're in that suit and you can hear your own self breathing like Darth Vader, and it seems so isolated and dark and bleak. The stars seem to look much better from down here.
Yes. And it seems a little scary too.
Well, it just seems, again, you're in this suit and you can't be free and you're tethered to and if something happens and my God, you get loose, you're dead. At least in the ocean, you could maybe, grab onto something, or a whale might scoop you up. But come on, I've seen a lot of it. That whale comes and you get swallowed by a whale. Hey, there's
my goodness!
I saw Moby Dick, Finding Email. Yeah, the whale could come.
Yeah. I don't know how much luck the next person who gets swept up by a whale is going to have, though. I don't want to risk that either.
Because but the whale could just spit you. Anyway, so again, about your non-profit, what did it feel like to start such a program and then get those applications for scholarships? I want to hear, what does that make you feel like, Genevieve, when you see fruit starting to come from your labor?
Yeah, thank you for asking me that. When I do see it, that is the most beautiful feeling ever, to see something come from nothing or from something that you built. But I will say that I have my head down a lot working, that I don't always get to catch all those moments or soak it all in. For example, we host women empowerment resource fairs, which are free community events that we've hosted in about 4 cities now, and partnered with the different counties and cities around California. And what it is it's basically a one-stop shop for women and girls of all ages and all backgrounds to come and find a way that's fit for them to be empowered in whatever way they need. So we start off with a women's speaking panel with inspiring women, like Sheriff Tina Nieto, the first female sheriff of Monterey County, District Attorney Janine Paccioni, who's the first and only female district attorney here. We have Mayor Ana Velasquez, who's the first and only Latina mayor of Soledad, and I believe she's on her 2nd or 3rd term now, so she must be doing something great. And then we've had a lot of other amazing women, like Chantel Duliba Vega, who is Monterey County's Career Firefighter of the Year. She's a 28-year-old woman, but she has that title of the Career Firefighter of the Year for our county. So we start off with the speaking panel while women are treated to lunch. We were very grateful to have BJ's Restaurant be one of our caterers. For free, they provided free food for over 300 women and girls. And then we move on. After the lunch and speaking panel, we open it up where we have resource tables, where we have hundreds of thousands of items basically that we give away, everything from school supplies to menstrual hygiene products, because in the United States today, 21% of women do not have regular access to menstrual hygiene products. So that may seem trivial for some people, but for some women,
only to men. That only seems trivial.
Yeah, only to men.
Only
that's
to
very true. Yeah,
that's very
true. That's very true. Yes. That's funny. And we also give away other things like diapers, baby wipes, clothes for women to wear to work or job interviews. And then my favorite part of these community events is we open it up to have different workshops, which are educational opportunities we provide for free. So we've had an amazing woman who teaches the Welding Women's Syndicate. Her name is Tiffany Orff. I believe she's based in Salinas, and she taught at our event. We had like over 350 women and girls, and she taught free welding. So she brought full PPE, firewall to protect everyone, and we had girls as young as 7 years old, all the way to women in their 80s trying out welding for the first time. Hands-on.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful.
Thank you. So we do a lot of that, a lot of different workshops like model car building, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. We've hosted CPR certification workshops, resume writing, job interview preparation, self-confidence and mental health, and financial literacy. And everything we do is free, so that people...
And everything
no
is free.
All
that list of everything is free.
Yes.
Genevieve, how can people, even on a daily basis, okay, how can someone like me, I hear of all these wonderful things you have to give people to have access, like, sanitary supplies or clothes, or so what about someone like me who may have some things that they want to donate? Where can I come? Where do I donate?
You can contact me by email at info@womenarelimitless.org, or you can always go to the website itself and find the email or contact me that way, which is womenarelimitless.org. And the emails go directly to me. I'm the only person who works the emails. So if you send something and you have something you'd like, we can let you know if it's something we could use.
I have things I hope you can use. So I'll be emailing you later with a list of some things that I have. How did you come up with the name? Did you yourself come up with the name of the nonprofit?
Yes. Yeah, it's the first thing that was out my mouth as a baby. Women are limitless.
That was the first thing you said?
No, it wasn't the first thing I said.
I was like, dang. What was your mother feeding you? She was like,
it's with tamales and sushi, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So you came up with the name. It was there in your heart, and you used it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of affirmations, so I felt like anyone who reads our tagline or types on our website, they have to say women are limitless. And even in that saying, if you cover up the W and the O in women, it also says men are limitless, which is what I also believe.
Oh, but they have limits. Shh. Shh, they do. Lots of them. But anyway, that's nice.
That's you said it, not me. No.
It is Bettina's Buzz. Is it a disclaimer? No, men have. I don't know what I would do with the nice men who always help me, the tech support. So yes.
Yeah, just them. They're old. Okay.
Only. Okay. Let me focus. I'm trying to think of some things men can do. No, shout out to my horseback riding lesson instructor, Doug. Okay, they're not my personal horse whisperer at the time at Marina Equestrian Center. Yes, I'm totally Genevieve. I have to keep bringing that up. And one thing, thank you again for reminding me as a woman that we are limitless. And again, Genevieve and I, as we started the show, everybody, and I've been announcing proudly that I've started horseback riding lessons and I've started Taekwondo lessons. And yes, we are all limitless. There's no limits. And one thing I want to share with everyone, for example, especially my Taekwondo class, which I take with Master Lee and Marina, is I'm one of the oldest. I don't know that I'm the oldest, but also I'll be nice to myself and say I'm one of the oldest students, and I'm proud of it. And I learned so much from the children, and the whole atmosphere is affirmation. That's what I love about it, is everybody's applauded for. All the efforts are good. And though the black belts, the instructors, Master Lee, encourage you to do things correct, you're also affirmed the fact that you're trying, the fact that, especially for me, Miss McBee, everything's good. Miss McBee, take a break. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it all. So we are limitless, and we can learn from people of all ages. Even little people can teach. You're in line behind them in Taekwondo, and little children focused. We can learn so much from children. I just wanted to say
that's so true.
We can learn from everyone, young and old, and none of us have limits. Young people don't have it, neither do we old people. So what are some of your further aspirations? I know you have a lot going on, Genevieve, but people who have a lot going on usually have other goals. So what are some of your other goals?
Well, right now, I have a few goals. I guess one goal is not really related to the audience listening, but that's to take care of my family, and because I love them so much, and more, you realize how important that is and how you want to spend everything with them, whether it's time, and everything. So that's something very important to my life right now. But also, family basically is the same word to say for what I do with my nonprofit, because family is related to community, and this community is one that has a lot of bright young people, a lot of bright people in general of all ages, and so really just helping everyone is what's needed at this moment in time, I'd say, or coming together.
And in that community, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I did, but I didn't.
Sorry, no.
But no, I was just going to say, Genevieve, as you've mentioned, and we've talked community, and that's a big theme of SantaCruzVoice.com and our area's community and volunteerism. It's a network that runs through our community, I feel, naturally, to give. And a lot of us grow up or volunteer naturally because it's huge in this area. Do you agree with that?
Yes, completely.
Because, my mother was always volunteering, but not like myself. For example, she volunteered. I'm a military brat, and we travel a lot. And my mother had an interest in medicine, and she liked volunteering at the post hospitals, at hospitals and carrying specimens or whatever they had her doing. But she was a volunteer for decades. Okay. And wow. I know I started thinking, later in life, Genevieve, because she always had these little volunteer, magnets on the refrigerator. And you'd see those, like these little hearts, especially, medical and the Red Cross. Yes, the little hearts, we love our volunteers. So I really thought as I got older and got very interested in volunteering, but I volunteered, I'll admit selfishly, but that's why I called it, like at Laguna Seca or events where you got tickets to the event, like the jazz festival or things. And that's why, I wasn't volunteering at soup kitchens and stuff, I will admit, but I was doing a lot of volunteerisms to take part in community events. And then as time went on, I started doing more volunteering for, yes, the Concorso Italiano or Prancing Ponies car events, but the end goal of these events were to give to those nonprofits that had a big need, children, of course, animals, women, and then that became more of a focus. So the volunteerism in the community, there's so many outlets in this whole area to give of your time and talents in that way.
Yes, it really is. Like, I completely agree. We're so community oriented here. Everyone's so giving, and they say hi to you when you walk down the street. Even if you don't know people, everyone's smiling and volunteering and all that. That's how we got connected too more with Tanya. Tanya's a volunteer queen. So everyone out in the community is always doing something for everyone else.
And that's, even as you say that, most of the people I really know, especially as my life's gone, are people who are very involved in the community, like working for SantaCruzVoice.com, which that's very serious. The stations, everyone here at the station is very involved in the community, loves our community. Many of us have lived here on the peninsula or in this area for decades, and just have a real affection for the people in this community. And it's very strong. It's better than space. And I haven't even been to space, but I already know it's better than it's better than space.
Should we ask Katy Perry? Just kidding.
No, let's not. What when you're not working on a goal, Genevieve, or planning something for your nonprofit, what do you like to do for yourself, or helping your family, because we have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of others, right? So what does Genevieve do for Genevieve?
I love playing video games on Xbox. So that's probably my biggest hobby in life and what keeps me sane, definitely. It's more of an introverted thing where I, can be introspective while I play. I can multitask while I play and watch YouTube videos where I'm learning something. But I can also connect with community on that way too. And I think that's part of what helped me develop my voice and my confidence and who I am authentically instead of just my physical appearance, is that when you're playing video games like on Xbox or PlayStation or PC, no one knows what you look like and everyone's just there for one goal, which is to play the game, and I think that's kind of how I wish the world was, I guess, not so focused on outward appearances.
That's what I always liked about radio or streaming, because no one knows what you look like. You're just a voice. And especially, Genevieve, many years ago, I used to work at KMBY, and sometimes people would call in and with a guess of what you looked like, and they were always so far off. And I'd go, no, try again. But it is that wonderful thing of people not really knowing what you look like or who you are as you walk out in the world. Because maybe I'm a contributing writer for 65 Degree magazine. Genevieve, do you ever read that magazine, by the way? Yes, it's a free publication. It's a wonderful publication. Everybody, yes, props to 65 Degree magazine, which the other side is 57 Degrees, which covers the San Francisco area. Yeah, I've been a contributing writer for quite a while. And anyway, the holiday issue is just out. And you can get it, Genevieve, in Carmel on Ocean Avenue. Okay. Walk down Ocean Avenue, and any of the galleries, it's just stacked out there free. It's a wonderful publication. Very nice.
Okay, I will have to read that.
Yes, read that. And now, you're no stranger to being published or being written about yourself. As I mentioned, about a year ago, you were in the Monterey County, the Coast Weekly. And what other publications or TV programs? And now you've been on SantaCruzVoice.com, so you've been streaming live now. But what else have you done?
Let's see. I've had the privilege of sharing my story with Mark Green on the Cars Yeah podcast. And that was a really fun one, too. It's similar to yours, where it's conversational, and he's asking me about my life and relating it to the car world as well. I've also had the opportunity to be a co-host on the TV show Monterey on Tonight a few times with Gary Kokola. And then, let's see. I've been in a few local newspapers. I guess I've written a few stories about my work and what I do, like the Salinas Valley Tribune, I believe, the King City Rustler. I'm not sure what else, but I've seen a few of them. Sometimes I don't know that they're there until I see it later. Like, oh, they wrote something.
What was the first article that was written about you, if you can remember, and how did that make you feel, Genevieve, to see yourself in print? A story about you.
Yes. The first one directly about me was the Monterey County Weekly one. And before that, a lot of the publications were also about what I was doing, like the events I'm hosting. Both are really rewarding. And I would say I also did an interview on the Salinas Now podcast, which was really nice. It was my first interview, and that was like 2.5 hours long, or some very long amount
Wow,
of time.
2.5 hours. Well, this was nothing then.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like it. I didn't realize it till the end. But like you said, conversational. A lot of people have stories, so once you get them talking, like myself, you get a lot out of us.
What do you hope in the advancement of your nonprofit? What are some of your goals? Just not in the far future, but say by the holidays. Do you have anything planned for the holidays to spotlight your cause, to get additional donations?
We don't. Well, for the past few years, we have hosted a Adopt a Family program where teenage mothers and fathers and their children around Monterey County, they're often forgotten about. And so we seek them out and try to buy all the gifts, or like Christmas trees, clothes, shoes, cookware, baby clothes, everything that they need or want or ask for. So we have that coming up. But I will say right now, one of my main focuses is fundraising, because with the funds, for example, for the scholarship fund, 100% of that is donated directly to the students who are going to college. So there's no fees I want everyone to know, when you donate to the Limitless Scholarship Fund, 100% of what you're giving is going to that. Because I pay for all the administrative costs. I don't want anyone to think that when they donate, a portion of it is going somewhere else or something like that. So that's something important to me. If anyone would like to donate and support what we're doing so we could reach more girls. We do have a very successful program, and we are the leading program during Car Week, getting more girls and women in the automotive industry. We have directly supported over 1,000 women and girls in our first 2 years of the program. And we're partnered with every Rotary Club from the Sierra to the Sea in Rotary District 5230. I'm the Education and Literacy Chair of all the Rotary Clubs, and also the Women Empowerment Chair. And so we do a lot of partnership, not just with my own organization, but with Rotary Clubs, with other nonprofits that are doing similar to work with us. And one of our big things is, earlier this year, me and my friend, Dr. Carmen Cruz, who owns another nonprofit called First Gen Scholars, she came here from Texas, her and her husband, Angelo Cruz, and we went on a tour throughout different cities, 4 different cities in California, or in Monterey County, actually. And we went into classrooms where we taught a 90-minute electrical and mechanical engineering workshop. So we went to Soledad, and this was earlier this year. We went to Soledad Middle School. We taught 30 middle school girls how to build a real model car that actually worked and ran. So they did it from scratch.
Wow, that sounds so fun. Then they can see the results of their work right then.
Yeah,
I mean, build something and oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so basically that is what we're expanding, and we'd love to bring it to Car Week next year and more events that are related to car shows or other automotive themed events, because basically it's a mobile museum exhibit where kids as young as pre-K all the way through college age, we have curriculum developed for all ages to learn different parts of STEM. And we can teach them in as little as 45 minutes to an hour, where they could start off with no knowledge. And by the end of it, they're bringing home an actual STEM build that they created from scratch. And they're bringing home the knowledge and the worksheets to continue learning about that STEM mechanical and electrical engineering workshop we just hosted. And my goal is to bring that to more events. So if anyone out there is looking to partner with us, if you have an event or something where you would like something for kids, teenagers, or even adults, young adults in college, we would love to bring that to people. And we're also looking for sponsors to help support our big program, which will have racing, driving simulators, mechanic simulators, and a whole bunch of custom-made things. And it's absolutely revolutionary. And that's our biggest thing right now, is working towards that to make sure that we can bring this on the road to different events to expose more children, more youth to what they are capable of doing with their future.
And tell our listeners again, Genevieve, how they can get in touch with you and find out more about the nonprofit.
Yes, you can visit our website, womenarelimitless.org. And my email is info, I-N-F-O, at womenarelimitless.org. We also have an Instagram and Facebook page called The Limitless Program. And if you'd like to follow me, my Instagram is public and it's Genevieve VNA. And I normally post about what I'm doing with my nonprofit there as well. And right now, next year, me and the Rotary Clubs are planning a big educational and vocational fair where we're hoping to have more hands-on educational opportunities where people can come learn welding, they can come learn all kinds of stuff, basically.
Genevieve, it's young people like you, and of course, my daughter, Serna, but truly, I just want to commend you. Here you are, what, 20, how old are you, Genevieve? You said 28, okay. You give faith, you give us older people faith, young woman, because, we need to see that people care. I need to see that young people care. So it just does us all good to know that there are the younger generations. I mean, we know it, but to really see it, Genevieve, in the passion and the hard work that people like you and other young people like you put into our planet, our people, that not everybody's so concerned with AI and technology in a way that doesn't involve humanity and taking care of us. So in that, I thank you very much, and all that I can do to support you and your causes and all of us, because women, we're all limitless. All of us, women and children, and some men.
Some.
Young boys, yes. This is how I truly feel, and in our society, we know that it's women who raise men, okay? Mm-hmm. And yes. So that's how women are limitless. We need, and that's how young men can grow up to be real men. And then Bettina will say, men are because yes, like those little young boys in my Taekwondo class, yeah, they're learning. And then they have to clap for old women like me, and then I tell my daughter, they get to go home and say, hey Mom, we got this 66-year-old lady in our class doing push-ups and cartwheels. What are you doing? That's right. we all have a mission in life, and that's mine. We all got to get out there. I had women a woman picking up her student at the end of Taekwondo. I'm at a class putting my shoes. You can't go in there with your shoes. And just as she passed by me, my husband, and she just whispers, "You're brave." And I just say to myself, "Brave, maybe. I don't know. Just right now, I'm not sure if I'm brave or not." But I love it. So we got to get out there and live our passions. And
yes.
So Genevieve, in the minute that we have left, what are you going to do with the rest of your Saturday?
Talk to my mom and my loved ones. Maybe go outside, get some fresh air, do some work. I'm on the board of directors for the Rotary Club of Carmel Valley, so I'll be doing some stuff to progress us forward that way. And last but not least, feeling really grateful for our conversation today and the friendship that I have with you and Serna. And I really hope to see you both soon.
Well, thank you, Genevieve. We haven't connected
that much, and we need to.
Yes, we'll have to get together for coffee or tea or something. I'd love that. But again, Genevieve, say your last name again for us. Say your whole name.
Yes, Genevieve VNA Armendariz.
Beautiful name. And thank you again so much for sharing time with us here on SantaCruzVoice.com. As we tick down the seconds, thank you very much. I love my Saturdays. Pray for peace. Have a good day. Michael Jacoby's coming up next.